Welcome and thanks for watching Training with IMS. In this video, we'll take a quick look at the Incident tab. The Incident tab serves as the home page for the IMS program. In the top header row, you'll have a series of buttons that will allow you to toggle between the different layouts. The row immediately below the header row will allow you to populate your responding, on scene, returning in quarters times. The large buttons in the center will allow you to enter the location, interact with the incident times, the units and crew, as well as the detailed view of the units and crew tab, the response type, the mutual aid companies. You also have a records button. Under the records tab, you'll be able to check your record for validation criteria. You'll be able to sync the record to the server with the sync button. Once the record's synced up to our server, you'll be able to remove that record with the Remove All Synced Records button. You'll also see a series to the left and to the right. A refusal button to the top left is what you'll use to populate the fields for a patient refusal. If you have a call canceled, we'll help you with that with the Call Cancel button. Update Launchpad will bring down new crew members, new apparatus, and those type of things if you make a change on the server side. To the right column, you'll see there's a duplicate report. That'll allow you to duplicate your incident for a second patient on the same incident. You can also convert an EMS call to a NIFRS call. And then we do have a protocol for the DOA. So let's take a quick look at how all that comes together. We'll need to start a new run for each incident. So we'll select Start Run. If we choose, we can utilize the buttons at the top to mark our times responding and on scene. Once we enter the Location tab, we'll need to select our choice of whether it's an EMS transport, a non-transport, or non-EMS type call. An EMS transport would be a patient that was transported to a receiving facility. A non-transport would be a patient care report for a patient that was treated or assessed but not transported to a receiving facility. All other calls would be a non-EMS, NIFRS only type call. So we'll select transport, we'll enter our street number, followed by the street name. We'll pick a suffix, and we'll be presented with our zip code, so we'll select a zip code. And if your agency selects tracking to be toggled on, you can specify custom locations, such as jurisdictions you may respond to on a regular basis for tracking purposes. We can also indicate an apartment number, and our section numbers are available if we want to populate those as well. When we select Next, we'll be presented with the Times tab. If we're unable to select the times with the buttons at the top, we can interact with them here. Each of the times will come down to the next corresponding time, and then you'll just have to make a slight adjustment. We can populate an incident number here. And if you notice in the center of the screen, we've got the ability to populate our starting odometer reading and also our ending. If we do populate those, they will calculate our loaded miles. We'll then pick a shift, followed by a district, and then which apparatus we're on. And then we can begin to select our crew members. If we have isolated our crew members to different shifts, we can also toggle on those other shifts and get additional values to populate additional crew members. If we run out of slots, we just can simply push up and get another one available to us. We'll select the location type, the incident type, and the level of service that we provided. If we transported with lights to the hospital, we can change that. And if we had any mutual aid companies that assisted us, we can put those in here. Go ahead and enter our returning time with the button. We can also indicate an in-quarters time. If we were wanting to make any changes to any of the tabs that we had previously interacted with, we can still change any of those values and look at the detailed values for the crew members and the apparatus, we can actually add another apparatus. We would need to put a crew member on that apparatus. And if we simulated that this record was completed, we could check our validation criteria. We would be looking for no validation criteria errors. And then once we did complete our report, we would sync it to the server using the sync function. We will need to be on an LTE wireless or Wi-Fi connected out to the internet to be able to sync the record. If we scroll up, we can see that that was a 36-second sync. Once we've successfully synced the record to the server, we can select records, and you'll notice a remove all synced records button below the sync data button. Once we select that, we'll be asked to confirm. We select yes, the record will be removed from the device. We can then select our dashboard and see that there are no records on the device and return back to our original home screen.